Lost Dog: A Journey Home. This is the story of Biscuit, a golden retriever who leaves his perfect home searching for adventure, only to discover that what he was looking for was there all along. Biscuit lies in his cozy doghouse surrounded by toys, soft blankets, and full food bowls, but feels bored with the same yard, same toys, and same fence every single day. Watching other dogs walk by on adventures with their owners, Biscuit presses his nose against the fence, wondering what exciting things exist beyond his safe backyard. When his family tries to play fetch with him, Biscuit just sits still, thinking they wouldn't understand his need to discover who he really is outside these walls. One afternoon, when his family is inside, Biscuit discovers a loose board in the fence and his heart pounds with excitement as he sees his chance for freedom. Squeezing through the fence opening as his collar catches on the wood, Biscuit looks back once at his doghouse before stepping bravely into the unknown world. The city street is overwhelming, with loud cars rushing by, people walking fast, and tall buildings everywhere, making Biscuit feel very small and scared instead of brave. At a large city park, Biscuit hides behind a bush watching so many different dogs playing, amazed at how big and diverse the world is compared to his yard. 3 street dogs approach Biscuit: Spike the scrappy terrier, Winston the wise bulldog, and Daisy the cheerful beagle, offering to teach him how to be free. The dogs show Biscuit how to beg for food at outdoor cafes, but he feels wrong and uncomfortable remembering how food always appeared in his bowl at home. Alone under a park bench as cold rain begins to fall, Biscuit shivers and realizes his doghouse never leaked and his blanket was always warm and dry. With his stomach growling painfully, Biscuit watches a family having a picnic and remembers his full food bowl at home that he took for granted every day. A kind elderly woman shares her sandwich with Biscuit and gently pats his head, reminding him of the love and comfort he had at home with his family. Winston the bulldog tells Biscuit that he's been free for 5 years but sometimes wonders what he's actually free from, making Biscuit think deeply about his choice. In a dirty alley, Biscuit gathers newspapers and cardboard to build his own shelter, trying to recreate the home he left behind, but it's not the same. Biscuit finds an old tennis ball and worn blanket for his makeshift shelter, arranging them just like his yard, realizing home follows us even when we run away. To protect his small alley space from other stray dogs, Biscuit has to growl and fight, something he never had to do in his safe backyard. Through a restaurant window, Biscuit watches a family eating dinner with their dog at their feet, wondering if Emma and Tom miss him at their dinner table. A terrible thunderstorm destroys Biscuit's cardboard shelter, leaving him soaked and terrified, wishing for the cuddles and comfort storms brought at home. Spike, Winston, and Daisy find Biscuit shivering in the storm and bring him to their dry hiding spot under a bridge, sharing what little food they have. Sitting in a circle by the fire, the dogs share stories of their past homes. Each one lost something precious and Biscuit realizes how lucky he was. Biscuit finally admits to his friends that he left a loving home by choice, and Winston says sadly that Biscuit doesn't know how special that was. Walking through the neighborhood, Biscuit sees "Lost Dog" posters with his picture everywhere saying, "We miss you, please come home," with his family's photo. A close-up poster drawn by Emma in crayon says, "Please come home Biscuit, I miss you. Love Emma," with a child's drawing that makes Biscuit's eyes fill with tears. At a crossroads between going deeper into the city or heading home, Biscuit's friends tell him there's no shame in returning to love. Saying goodbye to his street friends with hugs and tears, Biscuit thanks them for teaching him what he had, and they give him directions home. Running through the city streets as the sun rises, Biscuit retraces his path, remembering each corner and shop as the way home gets clearer. Getting confused and taking wrong turns in unfamiliar streets, Biscuit feels frustrated but stays determined to find his way back to his family. A friendly mail carrier recognizes Biscuit from the posters and points him in the right direction, saying his family has been worried sick about him. Biscuit's nose picks up familiar scents: Mrs. Johnson's roses and fresh bread from Tony's bakery, and his tail wags faster knowing he's getting closer to home. Reaching the top of the hill, Biscuit sees his street below with his house in the distance, his heart racing and paws running faster than ever. Standing at his fence with the loose board still open, Biscuit hesitates and worries they might be angry or not want him back after he left. Tom spots Biscuit at the fence and his face changes from sadness to pure joy as he screams, "Biscuit! Mom, Dad, Emma, Biscuit's home!" The whole family runs outside with Emma crying happy tears, parents looking relieved, everyone surrounding Biscuit with hugs and pets full of love. Biscuit is buried in a pile of family hugs with his tail wagging so hard his whole body shakes, amazed that they all missed him every single day. In a warm bubble bath, gentle hands wash away the street dirt while Biscuit thinks Spike would laugh, but this feels absolutely wonderful and safe. Biscuit's bowl overflows with his favorite food and special treats as his family watches him eat with smiles, and he remembers how good real meals taste. Mom notices small cuts and scrapes on Biscuit's paws and gently tends to them with medicine, showing the kind of care he couldn't find on the streets. Dad puts a new collar on Biscuit with updated tags reading, "Biscuit, I am loved. If lost, please return to the best family ever," and a GPS tracker. That night Emma refuses to sleep in her bed and curls up next to Biscuit's doghouse with her blanket, just to make sure he's really back home. For the first time ever, Biscuit's parents let him sleep on Emma's bed, and he realizes the bed he dreamed of finding was here all along. The next morning Biscuit wakes up thinking it was all a dream until he sees his family making breakfast and hears their voices, feeling overwhelming relief. Playing fetch with more enthusiasm than ever before, Biscuit celebrates each throw of the ball because now he knows what it's like to have no one to play with. Dad repairs the loose fence board while Biscuit watches, understanding now that the fence isn't a prison but a protective hug made of wood. Lying in his doghouse, Biscuit sees it differently now, noticing how it keeps him dry, warm, and safe, feeling grateful for this special place that's truly his. Biscuit barks a message into the wind for his street friends Winston, Spike, and Daisy, thanking them and hoping they find homes too. When a hungry stray appears at the fence, Biscuit drops some of his food through the slats and tells him about Winston's warm spot under the bridge. On a family walk passing the park where he lived as a stray, Biscuit sees his old bench and alley but feels no longing for that life anymore. During the walk they encounter Daisy being fed by the kind old woman from before, and Daisy winks at Biscuit, happy he made the right choice. When Tom tries to sneak out without permission, Biscuit blocks his path barking urgently, warning him that adventure isn't worth losing home. Through all the seasons, spring flowers, summer sun, fall leaves, winter snow, Biscuit remains content in his yard, grateful for each day at home. Biscuit becomes the neighborhood's beloved watchdog, alerting families to problems but never wanting to leave his yard because everything he needs is right here. A new puppy next door looks longingly at the world beyond, and Biscuit shares wisdom that adventure isn't a place but a feeling you can have at home. Emma does a school presentation about Biscuit's journey with a poster saying, "Home is where love lives," while Biscuit watches proudly from the window. In a beautiful dream, Biscuit sees his street friends all finding homes. Winston with the old woman, Spike with a food truck owner, Daisy with a young couple. Every morning Biscuit walks around his yard touching his nose to favorite spots, his house, tree, toys, in a gratitude ritual for all he has. Seeing another dog peering longingly through a fence across the street, Biscuit barks a gentle warning that everything they need is probably right behind them. A photographer takes a family portrait with Biscuit sitting proudly in the center surrounded by his people, capturing this perfect moment of belonging forever. At sunset in his doghouse, Biscuit looks at the same yard from page 1 but now it looks like paradise because he understands what home really means. The whole family plays together in the yard with fetch, tug of war, and belly rubs, Biscuit realizing he didn't need to find himself because he was here all along. Years later, an older gray-muzzled Biscuit sleeps peacefully in his doghouse surrounded by new toys from Emma's children, 3 generations of love continuing forever. The message of this story is, every journey outward is really a journey inward. Biscuit learned that sometimes you have to lose your way to find your way home, and that real home isn't a place you find but a love you choose to stay inside every single day. This is part of a 4-part principle learning series. Isabella's Garden of Kindness, Carlos and the Kindness Tree, Jose and Maria the Feelings Bridge, and The Lost Dog: A Journey Home.